Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat, and welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. We're going to be having another humongous adventure today. That's right. It's time for the third mascot. This company has so many mascots, but we're going to be doing Pajama Sam. No need to hide when it's dark outside. So yeah, without further delay, let's go ahead. Let's jump in. Oh yeah, gotta love that Scum VM launcher. I know the longest speed run took 8 hours. And then got taken down from the leaderboard, sadly. I'm guessing...
At last the time has come to hatch my sinister
When you meet
plot.
Niles, it's time for smiles.
Activate my blackout generator and the world will be thrown into eternal night.
But sinister
Not
plots.
so fast, darkness! What? Pajama Man! That's right, fiend! And I have some gadgets of my own! Take that! Not the Illuminator Mark V! Do you have anything to say before you're sucked into my
20D
portable
batteries.
bad
That
guy containment
flashlight is
unit?
I
massive.
wish you'd pick up your socks once in a while.
Sure thing, Mom. You can consider that done.
Okay, Sam, you remember tonight's the night we go to
I was wondering why there was a slight echo. I forgot to turn
Don't
off
worry
the
about
volume
me,
on my
Mom.
TV.
I'm red, and I can put on my pajamas.
I'm an
and mask
expert.
if I
I'm a
get
professional.
That's good, dear. Good night, Sam.
scared. Good night, Mom.
Aw.
There's no need to hide when it's dark.
That flashlight
outside.
costs
No
$5
need
per
to
hour in
hide when
batteries.
it's dark
Yeah.
Outside. I'm not scared. Darkness lives in my closet, but that's okay. I'm not scared.
You're afraid of your roommate.
Okay, I'm scared. I can't sleep with darkness hanging around in my closet. I'm gonna have to capture him. This is a job for Pajama Sam.
Get it? Because his favorite
Now,
superhero
where's
is
my
Pajama Man.
Sam mask. I need that and my flashlight and my lunchbox. I'm sure that my stuff's in here somewhere. Nothing but clothes in here.
So unlike the other two, this one actually has more of a
Nothing under here.
speed. Any percent is 43 seconds. All socks is 1 minute. No skips is 22 minutes. I need to watch
My
some of these
signature
speedruns because
edition
that sounds
all-metal Pajama Man
bonkers.
lunchbox. I mean, my portable bad guy containment unit. I can keep darkness in this after I capture him. Now I just have to find my mask and my flashlight. Deep in the bowels of an old
No.
power plant.
No,
I gotta capture darkness so I won't be afraid anymore. Nothing but trash in there.
Why are you digging around in the trash? Yeah. The only way to attack the darkness is with magic missile. I'm attacking the darkness.
And introducing Randall.
Just open Kingdom Hearts after all. It is light. That's accurate. Also, Sam, you have a small
That's
problem.
Pajama Man. He's
You have a
my
bunch of
hero.
ants in your room.
Oopsie.
And a door to another dimension. That's terrifying.
Darkness is in my closet, but I can't go in until I find my mask and my flashlight. Nothing good under there. Here's my flashlight underneath all my socks.
I thought we lost all your socks. Ow.
The Illuminator Mark V Jr. It takes 2D batteries, you know. Now I just have to find my
Not 20
mask.
like the other one.
Oh, here's my Pajama Sam mask right where it's supposed to be.
Oh good, at least one thing in your
How
room
did
is where
that
it's supposed to be.
Okay, I'm ready to go into my closet and capture darkness. All right, I'm ready for action. All right, darkness, here comes Pajama Sam. Hello? Is anybody in here? Darkness? Hello?
Darkness cannot exist in your closet because darkness is a concept of negation and therefore does not physically exist. So all of these worries, they are in your head, Pajama Sam. And also now you have fallen into a pocket dimension inside of your closet.
Ta-da! Ouch. Wow. This looks like where darkness lives, all right. I better go find
Why?
him before Mom
Why does this
notices
look
I'm
like where
gone.
darkness lives? That's just... You just jumped to that conclusion.
Well, there's no turning back now.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Hello,
I
darkness,
had no
my
idea
old
my
friend.
closet was this big on the inside. Hey, a board. It's too far to reach.
We'll come back for that, I bet. No, Sam, look out!
Whoa!
Wait, pay attention, Sam.
Customs inspection. Well, what have we here? Looks like a flashlight and a signature.
I'm gonna move past why does a tree have eyes and straight into why does a tree have a lazy eye.
Declare these before entering the land of darkness, young man.
Declare? Well, no, I guess not.
I think we'd better confiscate these items. They could be dangerous.
That's
Hey,
fair.
I need those.
And you're traveling in disguise. Let's see what you really look like,
My Pajama Sam mask.
Pajama Sam, eh? Well, all right then, Pajama Sam. You can go, but I've got my eye on you.
Which one?
Uh-oh. Now what do I do?
Oh, hey, look, a sock.
Hey, one of my socks! Mom said I should pick these up. This is where I'll put all the socks I find.
I have a pocket dimension in my pocket dimension.
You can borrow that if you like.
Thanks.
I feel bad about you losing your things.
Yeah, how am I supposed to capture darkness
So why
without
didn't
all
you
my
do something
stuff?
about it?
Well, I'm sure your things are here in the land of darkness somewhere. If you look around, you might be able to find them again.
I hope so. I'll bring you back your rope later, okay?
Good luck.
That scary-looking place up there must be Darkness's house. I'll bet that's where I'll find him.
Okay, so we can go to Darkness's house, the boat dock, or the mines. The children yearn for the mines, after all.
It says Dark's house. It says boat dock.
Let me
Dark-
go out on a limb.
Your house construction seems a bit lacking. Sam, you destroyed an entire mountain. Congratulations. Well,
Yep, this is Darkness's house, all right.
again,
It says rocks.
No,
Looks
it says
like
rocks.
Darkness isn't a very good speller.
There's no mail. Beat it.
but I wanted to commit
These
a
baskets
federal
must be the way
crime.
up into Darkness's house. These are pretty heavy.
Yeet.
I guess I weigh more than 1 stone.
I think that joke would land better in England. It's a very athletic child. Oh no, I missed a sock. I just saw it on the tree trunk. Oh well, we'll go back down there.
Hello? Anybody home?
Food or dancing? I think dancing first, then food. Because dancing on a full stomach isn't great. Never mind, the land of darkness, 'tis a silly place. Yeah, Pajama Sam would be a good unlockable player.
According to this clock, it's 2:15.
Well, that's just wrong. It's 2:10.
Maybe I should turn on the music again. Well, I guess that's not gonna work. Why aren't you moving anymore? Hello? I saw you dancing.
Is that my mask or is that a pair of sunglasses?
Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom.
The furniture is unimpressed.
Okay, I don't
Wait, I see a
see
sock.
him anymore.
Don't mind me just getting my
Another
laundry.
sock. I better pick it up like Mom said. I should match up these socks. Looks like I need...
Although shortly I'll be chewed, nevertheless I must conclude.
That was deeply unsettling. A chicken singing about its own end.
It's a daily grind. I've got mincing on my mind.
I can't let you in, but you might liberate the carrots that I'm holding for the huge green salad.
Did he just say liberate the carrots?
Darkness's thirst is just the worst. He drinks so much, you'd think he'd burst.
I sure could use a cheese sandwich right about now.
This is terrifying. Yeah, fair enough, Mesozoic Mind. It's one of those things where, like, as a kid, you're like, ah, haha, everything's cute. And then, like, as an adult, you're like, wow, that's actually deeply unsettling.
Hi!
Hello, and welcome to The Brain Tickler.
Do I
the
have to?
game where you get to show how smart you really are.
Actually, I just wanted to go through.
I think we can arrange that, can't we, Wink?
That's right, Blink. But he'll have to answer a few questions first, because, as you know, no one can pass through the doors of knowledge without first playing.
Goodbye, evil talking demon door. No, they're staying around. And they're forcing me to play a game show. I did not forget the knife and cutting board. I just moved on.
It's Sam.
He's Sam, all the way from, well, wherever it is he's from.
His interests include skydiving, channeling ancient spirits, and stamp collecting.
I don't collect
Excuse me?
stamps. You're
He didn't
making
deny
that up.
channeling
And
spirits,
he'll
though.
be playing today for the right to pass through
Sam?
the doors of knowledge. He'll be asked questions from 4 categories. Once he's correctly answered one question from each of the categories, he wins. And we all know what that means, right, Wink? Step right over here, Sam, and select your first category.
Our categories today are anatomy, computer science, art, and the land of darkness.
No channeling spirits, please. Yeah.
Land of darkness.
But maybe we have to do that to
I'll
defeat
take
darkness?
anatomy, please.
All right, here is your question. The head bone is connected to the... The head bone is connected to the...
None of these are bones. Do you mean the skull? It's connected to the pilot light.
Neck bone.
That's correct.
No, there is no pilot light in Sam's head. All the lights are off.
That's one category down and 3 to go.
You're doing well. Go ahead and choose
Sing
another category.
the song. Nope.
Computer science. Let me try computer science.
Oh yeah, I could hear that. I
All
can
right,
hear
Here is your
the
question.
Pamela
What is
Adlon
the
voice.
best computer programming language?
Okay, that is a highly subjective
best
question
computer programming
that I think
language?
many people would argue, and I think a lot might say Python, which isn't even an option because I don't think it necessarily existed when this game was
Please
made.
choose an answer.
Two-faced dork eyes somehow remind you of the two-headed pod racing announcer from Phantom Menace. Oh wow, there's a memory. I'm gonna go with C.
That's absolutely right.
How is that Shakespeare programming language?
2
Obviously.
down, 2 to go.
All right. Which of the remaining 2 categories would you like to try next?
I'll try art.
All right. Here is your question. Who painted the Mona Lisa? Who painted the
I did
Mona
because I am
Lisa?
that amazing, and I am Hieronymus Bosch. That's a really odd, like I get obviously Leonardo has to be included because it's the answer, but like Hieronymus Bosch, like what child playing this is going to know Hieronymus Bosch and his triptych depicting, the Garden of Eden and hell.
Which answer should I choose?
Dan Brown did. Yes, Dan Brown painted the Leonardo da Vinci. Yes, paint the Leonardo da Vinci, and underneath we can see a map to the Vatican, which points to a Templar cathedral built in 11,000 BC.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Correct. This Italian artist painted the Mona Lisa in the early 1500s.
You're really on a roll now.
Are you ready for your final category?
Yes? Or can I just leave? Yeah,
Can
I'll
we
come back
take a
later.
break and I'll come back later.
Of course we can.
Because that question you have to find
Because
something out
there's always
elsewhere
time
in the land of
for
darkness.
The Brain Tickler. We'll be back after a few short messages.
Okay, run from the doors. Just run, Sam. Don't look back. Why would you go up the stairs that way?
Oh my gosh, darkness must be right behind this door.
Opus Deus and an albino assassin to kill me. Gonna send Ezio Auditore on me. Hey, look, it's Putt-Putt. And the little dog. Sock. I always see socks just after I've clicked the room transition.
Ow!
Yeah, Da Vinci Code is a weird book. So is Angels and Demons. But you know what? I will give Dan Brown this, weirdly enough. He actually is very good at writing action sequences. He writes in a way that's action and physical location flow well and are communicated clearly, that it's entertaining. I suppose that is the Door to Darkness scale. Nope, your banister's chewing. I'm leaving.
I got a sock!
His socks are almost as colorful as mine are. Well, let's go check out the mines. What's up, Mud?
I'm Pajama Sam. I'm gonna capture darkness and put him in a lunchbox.
That's great. My name's Mud.
Really?
No, not really.
Then why did you say it is?
I actually really like that
I'm
little
sorry,
exchange.
kid. I'm just real depressed is all. See, I used to roll all over the place on this here track. Up, down, sideways, loop-de-loop.
We all yearn for what we could do in our
Then I
youth.
got rushed.
Rust?
Yeah, rust. See, my wheels are rusted stiff, so I'm stuck right here on this spot. Can't move at all.
Gee, that's too bad.
Yeah, especially in summer when the pigeons come down here for some shade.
Mud is best character. A good hammer blow will fix this. Ah, yes. Shade. Next to the minimum boiling mud and possibly lava. Yeah, it's
Hi.
Hello.
a normal place
My
to
name's
seek
Sam.
comfort in the summer.
I'm going to capture darkness and put him in a metal lunchbox.
Perfectly
After I
normal
find my
sentence.
lunchbox, I mean.
See, he likes
Pleased
channeling
to meet
spirits.
you, Sam. You can call me Otto.
Hi again, Otto.
Hello, Sam.
Would you give me a ride across the river?
Oh, no. I can't go in the water. I'd sink. I'm made of wood, you know.
But wood floats.
No, I don't think so. I had this friend and he told me this story about his dentist brother who, he was made of wood and he got in the water and he sank.
Really?
Straight to the bottom. It's so scary. I wish I'd been a car.
I think your friend was wrong. Wood floats in the water.
Oh, I wish that were true.
There is fake news in the land of darkness. But we saw some floating wood earlier, so... And hilariously, I...
That looks like
Oh, that
one of
is a
Dad's
real sock.
socks.
Okay.
I wonder
It
how
looked like a fake
got
one.
here.
Wait.
I can't reach it.
There it is. Was that wood stuck in the water?
Uh-oh. I hope that nice tree's not too
He's
mad
gotta stop
that I
reading his
lost
friend's
the
Facebook
rope.
post about sinking wood Illuminati
At
conspiracy.
least I got this great
Seriously.
piece of wood.
Well, we lost that nice tree's rope that we promised we'd give back later, so let's just not talk to her again. Okay, Otto, I got something that's gonna blow your mind. Watch this.
Okay, check this out. It's wood, right?
Yes.
All right, now watch. See? It floats. Wood floats.
Yeah?
So you'll float too. Go on, give it a try.
Turns out Otto has a major defect in his hull and will instantly take on water and
So far,
sink.
so good. Well, here goes nothing. I'm doing it! I'm floating! Yahoo!
I'm doing the floating.
Oh boy, this is great! Can I give you a ride somewhere? Come on, hop in!
Let's go sailing.
Well, technically we can't do that since I'm not a sailboat because I don't have a sail. I know what you mean, but technically you should say, let's go floating or something like that.
Sure, whatever you say. Let's go sailing.
Okay.
Notice the wood just sank. It's a little ominous. Oh, we got options now. Well, left first.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'd like to cross the bridge to see what's on the other side.
Don't try to butter me up. If you want to go across, you'll have to pay a toll.
How much is the toll?
1 pound of gold.
That's a really high toll. I'm a child, sir.
It's an oil can. And there's some oil in it.
Yeah, let's do our best Dorothy impression.
I can't open this door. There's no knob on it.
I'm sure this is perfectly safe.
Oh no!
Everything's fine. Oh, hey, look, a sock.
Another sock.
It's pretty killer Argyle.
Let's go check out that bucket.
The current is too strong. I can't get us up there by myself.
Are we up creek without a paddle? Well, a little bit. But this boat's able to propel itself with absolutely nothing, so I think we're doing fine.
Whoa, did you see that? That looks like fun.
Sure. Fun. Right.
Another
Otto
sock.
speaking the truth here. £1 of gold at market value would have been $6,080 the day this game was released. That's
Yeah, that was fun. Let's
yeah.
do it
I'm a
again.
child. I just have that lying
Move up
around.
right away, okay?
Got paintbrushes because it's paint pot geysers.
What did you say that thing was called?
That's a geyser.
A what?
A geyser. It's kind of a hot spring that spurts up water and steam every so often. It works kind of like a coffee percolator. Water
coffee
in
what?
passages deep down where the rocks
Gratuitous
are hot, heated up
educational
to the point
content.
where it would normally turn into steam, except it doesn't because of the pressure of all the other water on top of it. So it gets really hot, and it expands, and it pushes some of the colder water out of the top. That relieves the
I love the
pressure, and all of
flashing
a sudden,
sign.
the hot water turns into steam, and pow! It erupts out, along with all the colder water on top. Then more water flows down into the deep passages, and the whole thing starts all over again. Most geysers are located in Wyoming, New Zealand, or Iceland. The word geyser originated in Iceland from their word gyosa, meaning gush. Geysers are usually very unpredictable about when they erupt. The most famous exception is a geyser called Old Faithful in Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, which erupts every 64 minutes, give or take about 3 minutes. It looks like this one goes off a lot more often than that.
Thanks a lot, Otto.
Otto's just excited to know that and share it. And you know what? More power to him. I love when people are passionate about their hobbies and want to share them.
Neat, an old hollow log.
Yeah, that's a thing to be
Maybe
excited
there's a
about.
frog in it or something. Rats, there's nothing in here at all.
Except your giant
I think
head.
I'm stuck. Yes, I'm definitely stuck.
I think when
wonder
I'm
how
talking about the
Gemini will
development
handle
of a
this.
game or something, I should now have a flashing sign saying gratuitous educational content.
Phew, it's hot in there.
No, I don't want to put my head back in. I want to take it with me. I guess I can't do that.
I don't feel so good. Bye, Otto. I'll be back soon.
Okay, I'll
Make
leave
it a
the
new
meter
emote.
running.
Huh?
Well, I had this friend, and he's a taxi, and
Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
I don't know if you could fit all of that into 144 by 144 pixels, but I can try.
That looks like one of my big brother Mark's socks. Smells like one, too.
Mop Rave! Mop Rave! Speaking of gratuitous educational content, rotata. So today's gospel reading is a long one. It's Zechariah receiving the word from Gabriel of like, you're gonna have a kid, and he's all like, I'm a what? And what I reflected on was, he's a very faithful man, as the scripture tells us. And he says yes in many ways, but in this moment, his question isn't so much questioning. It's really more about deflecting and trying to avoid the consequences of what's to come from this. And, it's kind of an opportunity for God to say, well, you're going to have to say yes to this one way or another. And for us, there's many ways we already say yes to God. We give thanks for those ways, but we also reflect on the ways that, what do we say yes to but don't actually live out, or what do we say no to, and how can we, open our hearts more to God in those moments. So, well, trees.
Just where do you think you're going?
What is with the trees in this area?
I just wanted to pass by.
Just barging through like that?
Without even asking permission? Have you no manners? It is customary.
Oh no, this isn't another customs inspection, is it? Are you gonna take all my stuff?
I assure you, we have no interest in your stuff.
Phew, that's a relief. I'm sorry if I offended you. May I pass through?
No.
No.
This is an exclusive road. It's for trees only.
Yes. Why?
Trees only. Now, be
How?
off with you.
How is it trees only? Well, I know a way to look like a tree. We'll wear the dead stump of another tree.
Look at me, I'm crazy loghead boy. Whoops. Whoa!
For me, it was a Tuesday. They look very concerned about what's going on.
Tree coming through.
Good day to you, fellow tree.
Murray, I haven't seen you in ages. Why have you lost weight? Hey, look.
Hot in there. Hey, that's my signature edition all-metal Pajama Man lunchbox over there.
And our mask.
Is that my Pajama Sam mask?
This mask belongs to the people.
Huh?
It sure looks like my mask.
Property is theft, man. Anyway, I need the mask to protect my identity as the leader of the Salad Liberation Front.
Did we just find a salad communist?
The Salad Liberation Front. We're a group of veggies fighting against the course system. We're tired of being relegated to the salad. We want to be the main course.
Whatever. I just want my mask back.
I'll tell you what. The other carrots are being held prisoner in the refrigerator in Darkness's kitchen. If you help me free the carrots, I'll give you back the mask.
Okay, it's a deal.
Great. I'll come with you to the kitchen so I can direct the operation.
Okay, sure.
No, not sure. Main course vegetable sounds like a vegan talk to me. Free the darkness.
I got another sock.
Freedom. Look, we made a pair. Okay, how do I actually get up there, though? Oh, I guess because this is closed off, I need some way... Because this is the well that the bucket's attached to, so we need some way of getting more power.
I better put my ingenious disguise back on. Whoa! Good day, fellow tree.
So I guess let's go to the mine.
Good day to you as well.
Since we have the oil, we can go free mud. Maybe in the mine we'll find, a pound of gold lying around.
Phew, it's hot in there.
Just be sure to not dig too greedily and too deep. Well, I don't know if Sam has learned that lesson yet. This is just his first game.
Here, I think maybe this might help your wheels.
We'll make them hot. Hot Wheels.
Say, that's good. Now do the back, huh? Ooh, yeah! Yahoo!
I free you and you run away from me.
I'm king of the tracks again, thanks to
This
you,
isn't a mine,
kid.
it's a
Hey,
tomb.
what'd you say your name was?
Sam.
Well, listen, Sam, the king owes you big time. Anytime you need a ride through the mines, the king will take you.
King Mud? Why would you This is terrifying. Why is there a washing machine down here? Is this Darkness's basement? Is that all the mine is? Here's a error with the terraforming tool.
Hey, King, what's this thing?
Well, that's a water meter.
It says 662.
It's an awful lot of water, Darkness. What is my opinion on lava lamps? They exist. I don't really have one way or another.
What are you gonna do with that?
You'll see.
Okay, you be careful with it, yeah?
By the way, what is this thing?
It's a pickaxe for mining gold.
What are you going to do with this?
yeah.
Oh, you'll see. What is it?
Don't even bother, kid. It's a one-way door.
Oh, look, gold. No, let's go left. Oh, there's a sock back there. Oh, but look, we found gold.
That's fun. Hey, look at that. Wow, this must be gold. Hey, I found a sock back there. Look, that's my sock.
You said that was your dad's sock earlier.
I warned you to be careful.
Yeah, but
Mud
look
sounds
at
a
all
little
this
like
gold
Ford
I
Crawler.
Since you're fabulously rich, how about sharing the wealth? little?
Miners refer to this
Hey,
as a
let me
vein,
have
but
a
geologists
small
like to call it
piece,
a fault line.
Deal.
Well, you often find gold also in veins of quartz.
I don't think we can get back out that way. That's too high. We can't get back up there.
Possession is 9/10 of the sock ownership. That's a sentence.
That was fun.
Okay, we missed a sock. I want to go back. Gold! Where's Yukon Cornelius when you need him? There's gold in them there hills. There we go. Got it.
Hey, I found a sock back there.
Love that bass. That's a stanky bass. Boom, 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 boom. Now, there was another way down here we haven't gone yet. To the right. Oh, this is... Sock! Ooh, what are people's favorite Christmas songs? Well, I stand by my decision that I gave on Game of Faves with Adestus Fidelis. Holly Jolly Christmas is a good secular one. Okay, so... yeah, let's go free the carrots.
Bye-bye.
Now let's see if we can answer the Door to Darkness question, too. If it was the water meter question. I like that he politely wipes his feet.
I can't let you in, for you might liberate the carrots that I'm holding for the huge green salad.
It's precisely what I'm here to do. Stop dancing, please.
Please, won't you open the door since I have another victim?
What? I surrender, not ever. Oh, wait. Now I see.
You now have captured that troublesome carrot eater guy. I'll open up my door so you can put that rogue inside my drawer.
You see, and then they'll begin singing for no reason at all. Now, what do you call it? Call it a musical.
Hey, guys, don't you see he's with me and you're free to go?
Free!
Yes, free.
Free!
Uh-huh.
Free! Free! Free!
Yeah.
Free!
Yeah.
Am I having a fever dream?
I almost forgot this, but you've earned it. You have taken the tide and turned it.
Ah,
You may
how the
take this mask
turns have
and wear
tabled.
it. A gift of gratitude from this carrot.
Hooray! I finally have my mask. 2 more things and I finish my task. This is one of those dumbwaiter things. I bet I could fit in there.
That's an extremely dangerous thing that you should never do.
That's a no-no. We avow it. No, we simply can't allow it.
Going down.
I don't think I know in Bleak Midwinter. I do enjoy a good
Welcome back
Mannheim
to the
Steamroller
Brain
song.
Tickler, ladies and gentlemen.
As you'll recall from before the commercial break, our contestant Sam was about to select a category.
Our categories today are The Land of Darkness.
Well,
I'll take
category.
the Land of Darkness.
All right, here is your question. What is the reading on the water meter
What do I look like?
located in the
The
lines
maintenance guy?
near
You think
Darkness's
I come
house?
here, I'm gonna do the work of the maintenance guy of the city who's supposed to
What is
come
the
and do the
reading
to read
on
the
the
meter?
water
Like, come
meter
on.
Located
662.
That's absolutely right. You've done your homework.
If you tried to answer that before,
correctly answered
I should have shown this, but
questions
if you tried to answer it
from
before you
all
see the
four
water meter,
categories.
all the
That
answers
makes
like,
you
huh?
the new
I don't know.
Brain
What?
Tickler Grand Champion.
I gotta admit, with Christmas songs, because of the Christmas concert that happened here,
Congratulations, Sam.
I Saw Three Ships has really grown on me in an
Dom Perignon,
unexpected
tell us what
way.
he's won.
Blink, as the new grand champion, Sam has won the right to pass through the doors of knowledge anytime he chooses.
Let me in.
Isn't that
Let me in.
fantastic?
You mean I could go through right now if I want to?
That's right.
Wow.
Thank you for being here with us on The Brain Tickler.
No, and now my
Until
brain
next
just feels
time,
itchy.
This is Wink
And Blink.
saying good night.
Wink and Blink's wardrobe was provided by the One Coat Paint Company.
Okay. Ah, physics.
Yikes! The doorknob came off.
I better take it
I
with
didn't
me.
do it. I barely touched it.
Pardon? Excuse me. Pardon me. Sorry.
Why is there a Beatles Yellow Submarine reference? I love the Beatles Yellow Submarine movie. That movie is nonsense, but why am I asking questions anymore?
A visitor.
Well. We don't get many visitors around here. How do you do?
Pretty well, thanks. How about all of you?
We're fine. Thank you for asking.
I'm not. In fact, I'm downright downbeat.
Oh? How come?
Because I ain't got nobody.
Boo.
Nice view from up here.
You be careful now. Well. Hey, check this out.
I'd swing my arms if I had any arms. My arms rest away. I'm nodding my head 'cause I have a head. Moving ahead today.
Yep, that sure happened. This really is the predecessor of LOL XD internet humor, isn't it, Gale?
H-A-Y-D-N-R-O-D, but the arrangement is certainly a miss. It's the composer who defiles good tunes so completely that they clear out Ronsach to Liebe.
It's no use. I can't reach them. I think I need to get higher up to reach the oars.
Gosh, if only we had, you know, a stool that we could push around, or...
Nice view from up here.
You be careful now.
I still can't reach them.
Get on top of the organ.
Maybe if you got up on top of me, you could reach those oars.
Told you.
Even nicer view from up here. I still can't reach them. I still can't reach them.
Do you want to help me? You've... No?
I'd swing my arms if I had any arms. My arms rest away.
I still can't reach them.
Be careful now. You might break something.
Like...
I think I need to swing higher. I need to keep swinging. I need to keep swinging.
That's what I'm trying. The clinking glass noise has me full of confidence that everything will end safely here. I am also just spamming the click button.
I got him!
Did not tell you to be careful.
I bet Otto would like these.
Okay, so that gets us our lunchbox, but we still haven't seen our flashlight anywhere.
Hello, Mr. Grand Champion.
Nope. I suppose we have the gold nugget as well. So let's go check that out. We also have the doorknob so we can open up the the outhouse.
Here you go. This should be at least a pound.
All right, you're clear. Go on across.
How do I know you're not going to close and charge me on the way out?
Havarti.
I'm fine. How are you?
No, no,
Havarti.
no. I said Havarti. Don't you know how to play cheese and crackers?
No, I can't
Mom
read
told
your
me I shouldn't
text. It's
play
too
with my
dark.
food.
No, cheese and crackers is the name of a game, see? Come on, I'll show you how to play.
Hey, this is like tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-who? No, this is cheese and crackers. Pay
Stupid
attention.
child, come
First,
on.
You need to choose which you're gonna be, the cheese or the crackers.
The cheese, of course.
Okay, I'll be the crackers. You're
Crackers
trying
go
to get
first.
3 of your cheeses in a row before I get 3 crackers in a row. You go first.
So it's exactly like tic-tac-toe.
Now you move.
Haha, you fool, you have fallen straight into my trap.
I won. Now can I eat the cheese?
No.
We need it for the next game. Plus, everyone's been handling that cheese, so you probably don't want to eat it. That is
Hold
purely
it.
optional.
If you're planning on coming back, I'll have to stamp your hand.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't believe how many people try to cheat me.
Thanks. Oh, I can't open this door. There's no knob on it.
Yeah, I know, but you stole one, so this is just going to
doorknob
magically
should fit
work.
the door.
This is exactly how
Once
installing
again,
doorknobs
Pajama
works.
Sam saves the day with his mighty brain.
Is what?
The door is stuck. I think the hinges are rusty. These hinges look kind of rusty. I better oil them. That did the trick.
Hey, I saw a flashlight.
My flashlight. I can't reach it from here.
This is a weird
Now I just have to
outhouse.
get my signature
I guess it's more of
edition
just
all-metal
a
Pajama Man lunchbox, and I'll be all set.
storage shed.
Okay, darkness, watch out!
I mean, it's got a stove, so at least it'll be toasty in the winter. I don't think Pajama Sam would be able to communicate the complex differences of powdered graphite to oil to children. But hey, we can write up Humongous and say, hey, have you tried this? We know this game is like 30 years old.
Here, maybe these will help with the strong current in that stream.
Yeah. I bet they will. Thanks.
Why can he no.
Otto, do you think you could get us over by the bucket now?
Nope, I'm not asking any more questions. And he was never seen again.
My lunchbox!
Why call it that when you can't eat it?
I beg your pardon?
Well, it seems very silly to call it a lunchbox when you wouldn't dream of having it for lunch.
But your lunch goes in it.
Your lunch goes in you, does it not? Perhaps you would like me to call you Lunchbox as well.
I'm not a box.
Ah, too true.
Why is the well fills? I need to stop asking questions.
Watch out, darkness! Here comes Pajama
Checkmate,
Sam!
child.
Hey, pennies. I wish.
I wish the grass were greener here.
Why are you wishing? I threw the penny in.
Who's the wishing well here, you or me?
Oh.
Fair point. I'll just be returning the way I came. Wait. Sock. No, I saw the sock. I want the sock. See, I always have impeccable timing. Spotting it just after leaving the screen. I don't think we're finding all the socks. This well is the definition of nonplussed. All right, Otto, it's time to take your favorite ride.
Yeah, that was fun. Let's do it again.
How about not right away, okay?
Yeah, we waited. Can he give the geyser lecture again? I'm sure he can, but you know what? No.
Bye, Otto. I'll be back soon.
Okay, I'll wait here.
Though I suppose he would only have to do the lecture like 1 or 2 more times. That would eat up the rest of the stream time for today. So there's actually a whole room we haven't even seen. If you take the dumbwaiter down,
I deserve to read half of the question.
there's like an alchemical lab, and that's where that back door in the mines was. But
Good evening,
because each
Mr.
time you play, the 3 things you're looking for in different
Champion.
locations,
Hi.
what you need to get them changes and makes it nice and fresh every time you play as a kid. Gratuitous educational content. All right, I got everything.
Okay, this is it. This is the big one. All right, I'm ready.
Are you? Wait a minute,
Yes,
that looks just
it
like
is
my
I,
room.
Pajama Sam. I have come to vanquish you. Hello, darkness? The closet. He's in the closet.
I'm gonna snoop around his stuff.
Aha! This must be the key. Yes, it worked. Okay, that's that.
How did
Now I'm
Darkness
ready
lock
to go
himself
into
in the closet that
Darkness's
way?
Closet and capture him. Watch out, Darkness! Here comes Pajama Sam. Darkness, it is I, Pajama Sam. I've come to vanquish you.
Vanquish? Is that fun?
It's rude to ask people why they're still in the
Lock you
closet.
in my signature edition all-metal Pajama Man lunchbox.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound like fun at all. Why would you want to put me in a box?
So I won't have to be scared of you anymore?
You're scared. I'm the one who's going to be stuck in the box.
Yeah.
Oh dear, no one ever wants to come over and play fun games with me.
You like to play games?
Yes, but I
Yeah, did
never
you ever
have
try
anyone
talking to
play
Darkness,
with. At
Sam?
night, when I come out, everybody's asleep.
You mean you don't have any friends?
Well, no.
I like to play games.
Really? Do you like to play cheese and crackers?
Do I? I played it with a toaster in the park. It's
Perfectly
great.
normal sentence.
Oh, good. We just need some crackers and some tasty cheese. Look at that move, huh?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, darkness is inside of Sam's head
No,
the entire
I
time.
defeated darkness.
Ooh, I didn't see that one. You win. You're good at this, Sam.
Thanks. I like this game. I better
Darkness
go home
would probably
now,
be
though.
better
My
at
mom
seeing
might get
things if
worried.
it,
Okay.
you know, he
maybe
wasn't
we can
darkness
play
and
some
therefore
more tomorrow
no
night.
light to actually see anything.
Okay.
Sam, are you all right in there?
Fine, Mom. Good night.
Good night, dear.
Boing.
Good night, darkness.
We made a friend. Yeah, it is possible that the writers drew upon Jung in this. I doubt it, but it's possible. I love the Polaroids of the adventures of Sam. Why did that make such a squishy noise? That's terrifying. Well, with that done, as has been our tradition for this month with Humongous Entertainment Games, since they only last about an hour, we're going to switch gears over to something else. I got to change the category here really quick. I guess that's it. So we are going to be switching, because it's also always been like a sci-fi theme for whatever reason, but going to be doing Super Empire Strikes Back. It was Step Zero's suggestion last week, but I figured, you know what, let's do Empire Strikes Back because Hoth, Christmas, snow, it's the best reason I got. Happy Life Day! All right, let's do this code. Boom, first try. Yep. So as soon as we hear Darth Vader do that, I will drop down to easy because this game is ridiculous hard. Oh no, there's debug code for each one. They're different. They are different in each one, but they work. I'm all tangled up because you need a second. Here's my favorite part. To actually use the debug menu, you have to have a second controller to activate it on. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. It is a dark time for the rebellion. Although the Death Star has been destroyed, Imperial troops have driven the rebel forces from their hidden base and pursued them across the galaxy. Evading the dreaded Imperial Starfleet, the group of freedom fighters, led by Luke Skywalker, has established a new secret base on the remote ice world of Hoth. There were also some carrots for some reason. The evil Lord Darth Vader, obsessed with finding young Skywalker, has dispatched thousands of remote probes into the far reaches of space. I don't think it was last time, actually. Maybe. We'll find out. But, you know what? Oftentimes that just means, it gets demonetized on YouTube, but my YouTube's not monetized anyway because it's too small. So whoosh. Star Destroyer. Oh yeah, height of graphics in 1992. Yeah, now we're just randomly Luke Skywalker in the middle of Hoth. So if we hit L and R on controller 2, we can now pick whichever level we want. Which, interestingly enough, are not actually listed entirely in order here. Nope, I want to... There we go. So you actually have different force powers, too, which is fun. This is exactly how I remember the movies. Hello, Tauntaun. Echo 3 to Echo Base, come in. There's a meteorite that hit the ground near here. I want to check it out. It won't take long. Oh yeah, look at that layer of snow effect. You know, that remote ice planet of Hoth, which is known... You may have played it at a cousin's house. That is probably the correct way to play it. My family only had the original one, episode 4, when I was growing up, but being the collector that I am, I sought out the other two. I think 4 is... I think A New Hope is honestly the best of the three. I love that whatever force power you use, it also just makes the whole screen explode. Yeah, the visuals have actually, like, the sprite work is fantastic in these games. Like, they did not cheap out. And the audio is still good, and I just think in terms of level design and bosses, I think 4 is the best. Because we love instant death bits like this. Just meow. This is why you give yourself 99 lives. Yes, a tie-in game that came out 20 years after the original game. Or after the movie. It's better than the, what was it, the NES Star Wars game in Japan, where Darth Vader turned into a scorpion. Art style does trump raw fidelity, that's true. But a good combination of both goes an even longer way. I don't want to accidentally jump into a pit. Excuse me. I did not ask for this. Imperial probe droids, go away! Yeah, when you were a kid, you were hungry for any Star Wars content. That included the Star Wars Christmas special. Okay, how do I jump off of my Tauntaun? Yes, I would like to enter the cave. I cannot enter yon cave. You know what? I know a way to enter the cave. Have I tried the start button? No, that just pauses it. Yeah, and you enter the cave just to exit it. See? Start just pauses. You cannot get ye flask. Well, I go Dennis. Slip and fall. Excuse me. Excuse me, Ice Minoc. Rude, can you not? This, on the day of my Tauntaun's quinceañera? Wait, there's the cave. Did I just not... Yeah, you just enter and exit these caves. I'm sure there is a way more eloquently to do that, but that's what debug mode is for. That and giving us 99 lives because this game is brutal. I like that Luke is also very unwieldy with his lightsaber here. He's just kind of like... Whoop. He's just kind of like, big swing with it. Yeah, you can switch to blaster. But it's way less... Come on, what did Obi-Wan say about blasters? Random basically go-kart section with coins. Yes, we all remember standing bodies of water on the ice planet of Hoth. You come back here, you face me like a real droid. Funny you should say playing as Han, because you do get to play as Han later on. Get wrecked, droid! Echo Station 3TA. We have spotted Imperial walkers. We've got to hold them until all transports are away. Their primary target will be the power generators. All available pilots to their snow speeders. Can't handle my big lives bonus. Yeah, I like how you do that, and it's like, now you're at the base. I'm pretty sure there is a level, though. There's a boss against the, Wampa. I never thought there was. Maybe we accidentally, maybe that was in one of the caves that we skipped earlier that we couldn't figure out how to get off the Tauntaun into. Can't do it all. I do not care about your opinion, Imperial droids. Imperial droids, they see me rolling, they hatin'. Luke, you're going so fast. Why is it now on a speeder section? This was my favorite scene in Empire Strikes Back. It's really only in the director's cut version. Shouldn't I have a co-pilot in the back to fire the grappling hook-a-majig? No? I'm just going off on by myself? Okay, cool. Bye. Get ready for the power of Mode 7! The 8th most powerful mode on the Super Nintendo. Well, there's the grappling hook. That'll be good to know. He has the Force. That counts as a spare pilot. He barely knows what the Force is at this point, though. Like, he could barely get his lightsaber out of some ice. Rule of cool. Fair enough. Well, caps lock is cruise control for cool, but remember, you still have to steer. Come on. Where are you, bikers? There you are. Okay, just one more. Then we get to move on to the ATSTs. I said one more. There we go. There we go. ATST walkers. Wow. Empire was so bad they stopped their fanzine. That's a take that is so wrong on so many levels. Shoot, we are so low on health. I got sidetracked and now need to find some. Get me that health. No! We were shot down. Dang it. It ruined and doomed the franchise. Again, that is... I mean, I know people have said that about other modern Star Wars things, which they're also incorrect about. But, like, Empire Strikes Back is... People think that movie's bad? I think it's the best Star Wars movie. Get out of here, speeder bikes. You need to obey the speed limit here in Hoth. It's 40 parsecs. You're clearly doing 50. Come on, Gale. You need to at least see the original trilogy. Especially because the prequels are pretty butts. No! Dingoes have fed kidneys. Okay, but it keeps our numbers where we are, which is nice. So I only have to destroy one more ATST. And now we get the AT-ATs. Which are somewhere when they load in. Whoop! I feel like this is a bit of a holy grail in gaming, trying to figure out how to make the grappling run on a AT-AT fun and functional. Ah, hubris. I've never been cursed by hubris in my life. They also have this really wonky hitbox, so I thought I was clear there, but... Yes, we got it! Only 4 more of those. Favorite Star Wars game? Honestly, probably pod racing. I haven't played KOTOR yet. Actually, maybe Squadrons. Playing Star Wars Squadrons in VR has been amazing. I mean, I do have a soft spot in my heart, of course, for the Super Star Wars series. Otherwise, I wouldn't have, collected it. Dark Forces is really interesting. I do like Rogue Squadron. There have also been some stinker games out there for Star Wars. I want to make sure I can find one that's like isolated and not necessarily right next to a hill, because hills really kind of mess up your trajectory. He says as he goes for one that's on the top of a hill. Yeah, we did it. One more. No, I've got full Hodas. I've never had a reason to bring them out on stream yet, but I do have a full Hodas, a very nice Hodas set. I haven't used it lately. I should play more Everspace. They've had a lot of updates on Everspace too, and I haven't played it since early days. Boom! Fly toward last walker. Okay. I've never tried the new Jedi games. Ah, yes. Jetpack stormtroopers. Shooting me in the back with the ion. Rude. Also, I love that the health upgrades that give you larger maximum health are called health swords, despite the fact that they're clearly lightsabers. Ah! Unfortunately, Luke does not believe in fall damage. Gotta love that slowdown. And there is an ability to Where is it? Yeah, Saber Deflect. But it's kind of weird to use. I'm invisible. And now I'm out of force power. Need to hang on to some force power for healing. I feel like a lot of VR gaming, and this is not exclusive, but a lot of it is more arcade style, where it's just kind of like pick up, play a bit, put down, and that's okay. Like, I actually like that a lot. Because like things like Pistol Whip, Space Pirate Trainer, whatever its title is. Okay, those things really hurt. I don't remember AT-ATs being this big on the inside, but, you know, maybe this is a TARDIS variant. It's a metaphor for Luke's overwhelming sense of responsibility. Fair. Ow. Am I supposed to use deflect here? Yes, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. That was easy. Imperial base troops have entered the base. Give the evacuation code signal and get out to your transports. It was only a movie. I'll find the princess and get her on the Falcon. Ow. Why would the rebel base even have flamethrowers built into the ground? Like, who designed this? And why can't I shoot them when I'm squatting? And just like that, I'm almost out of health again. I legitimately do not know what I was supposed to do there. You know what, I'm just gonna move on. Because I can. You know what? I'm giving myself the best weapon. Han Solo is done messing around. I get how Luke has a double jump because Force is, you know, whatever. But how does Han have one? Because the original game, Episode 4, did not have a double jump. Ah, yes, giant robot trooper. Just all these great classic hits from Empire Strikes Back that we all remember and love. Oh, it's an elevator. You're just supposed to wait. That didn't seem very fair. Han is just that good. Yeah, exactly. Han has had it with Imperial spiders and all up in his base. Hello, dead end? I love in the deleted scenes, there's a great bit where 3PO takes a warning sign off of a door, warning of Wampas. To trick a bunch of stormtroopers into going in there. Oh, this looks like a boss arena. Hello, boss health bar. I'm wondering now if my game's actually a little glitched. Because it seems like I have infinite thermal detonators. Because that didn't use up any of my bombs. And I did buy this used, so it could just be dirty on the inside. But I somehow don't want to fix it. Han, this bucket of bolts is never going to get past that blockade. This thing's got a few surprises left in her, sweetheart. Surprised that wasn't different colored text. Whoa! Not as good as Wing Commander, but still pretty fun. Why does it say I have 0 lives? I should have 99. So the bad thing is, in any of the vehicle sections, you cannot get to the debug menu for some reason. I don't think the counter does roll over, though. That's what I was thinking too, but... Hello, enemies. There we go. Okay, I've taken out all the enemies. Meanwhile, in a different part of the galaxy, there's nothing wrong, R2, just setting a new course. We're not going to regroup with the others. We're going to Dagobah system. I kind of thought that was going to be like, in a different part of the galaxy, nothing is wrong. Period. So we're out of snow stuff. Merry Christmas. It's just like Christmas here in New York. There is no snow. R2, where are you? Yeah, I'm at 0 lives. That's not right. Here, let's test something. Stop trying to hurt me and hurt me. I just glitched under the floor. Ain't no snow in Utah either. Oof. Yeah, we just ran out of, something glitched.
Here, or not, there is no try.
and took all our lives away. That's just so rude. I'm going to fix that. Dingo's fed kidneys. Oh, this is one of my favorite glitches. So if you, because of the pixelation effect, as the level fades in, if you do it too quickly to go to the debug screen, it gets applied there as well. Hashtag just the best. Ew, so many creepy crawlies. Hi, R2. Bye, R2. I keep finding holes in the floor here in Dagobah. We'll send Rebellion geologists out here after we're done with the Saving the Galaxy thing to look into it. R2, there you are. Are you all right? Next time you be more careful. You know, all we have to do is find this Yoda. I'm sure that'll be easy. I feel like everything here is not my friend. It's just a hunch. Yoda! Where are you? Ah, yes, the giant flaming cat beasts of Dagobah. I'm going to keep making that joke until I'm done playing this. I think we found him. You wish to become a Jedi? I have trained Jedi for 800 years. To become a Jedi takes the deepest commitment, patience, and the most serious mind. A Jedi's strength flows from the life force. Feel it, you must. Life creates it and makes it grow. His energy surrounds us and binds us. You must feel the force surround you, everywhere. Do or do not. Worst Yoda ever. I'm not even going to try and defend that Yoda impression. Why are there just random coins? Like, they add them in the third game, Return of the Jedi, as basically like a Mario coin analog. But in this one, they're just randomly in different levels. It's a little eerie without the music. Boss Arena? Boss Arena. What? It's Giant Frog! .38-minute, 32 speed run world record. Is that any percent, or is that... does that have some glitches or skips? Because I guess if you use the debug mode, you can get to the Vader fight almost instantly. 90%? Cool. Han, I thought you knew this Lando. That was a long time ago. I'm sure he's forgotten by now. Famous last words. Ooh. Look at Bespin. So pretty. But I think that's actually going to be the perfect place to call it. So thank you so much to everyone for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. Join us again on Thursday for Spirituality Thursday with Stanley Parable. We're going to be starting a little later, about 3 o'clock. Got a dentist appointment that afternoon. Next week, with it being Christmas, there's no stream on Monday or Tuesday. Looking to do a bonus stream on Wednesday, though, so the 2 days after Christmas, and regular stream on Thursday. And then the week after that, I'll be out of town, so no streams. But yeah, so thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, given bits, all that good jazz. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, and God bless.